Chapter 31. Pacing in her meticulously appointed office, Dr. Zhao stormed back and forth in black pumps, her heels clomping on the wooden floor. Her hand was touching her forehead. Yes, I left because of a migraine. I get migraines all the time. This place gives me migraines. She wore a red knit dress. There was a black blazer hanging on the back of her desk chair. And yes, Dr. Farrago did knock on my door at around 1 in the morning that morning. What was it, Wednesday? It was the night poor Katrina. Anyway, he knocked asking if I was okay. I wasn't okay, but it was none of his business. By the time I left my office, it was close to daylight. I had a pile of work to catch up on, and since I couldn't sleep, I thought I might as well clear my desk. Decker nodded. You left your office around what? 5, 6. It was almost 6. I stopped by Bagel Mania and picked up breakfast. Then I went home and attempted a nap, but my head was pounding. I was sick to my stomach. Finally, the medicine kicked in and I came to my office to finish up my work. And after that, I nursed myself at home for 2 days because I wasn't supposed to be in town anyway. I turned off the lights, turned off the phone, took a sedative and slept for 2 days straight. I didn't even hear about poor Katrina until the following Saturday when I returned to my office. Then that nonsense with Theo and Leninus happening, drawing me out of my cocoon. God, they are morons. What time did you return to your office on Saturday, Dean Xiao? Around 11 in the morning. She sat in her desk chair and opened the drawer. She popped another pill in her mouth. Oh, this has been terrible for my health. Poor Katrina. I suppose I was still in shock. What do you know about her? The affair or her demise? I don't know anything about her death. But you knew about the affair. Everyone knew about the affair. No one cared except maybe Aldo's wife. What about Theo Rossa? Yeah, he cared if he knew. So not everyone knew. Theo isn't perceptive when it comes to his faculty and students. I'm left to pick up the pieces, by the way. Did you ever find out what was in Elijah Wolf's math papers? We did. Anything significant? No. She was waiting for more information. Decker changed the subject. Who were you arguing with the night Katrina died? Pardon? When Farrago knocked on your door and asked if you were alright, who were you arguing with? What I was shouting about has nothing to do with poor Katrina, but I'll answer you anyway. I was arguing with Alistair Dixon. He's one of my grad students. McAdam glanced at Decker. He said, we met Alistair when we met you the night we were asking questions about Elijah's death. Yes, right, of course, I remember now. What were you two arguing about? His sloppy work. She shook her head, then regretted the movement. For God's sake, this isn't Princeton. It's not that hard to get an MA. We're not asking for proof of Fermat's theorem. We're asking for a simple mathematical idea that can be expanded upon in the future. I thought someone proved Fermat's last theorem, McAdam said. Andrew Wiles. What does that have to do with anything? Nothing, Decker said. What is Alice and Dexter working on? I can't tell you that. That would violate his privacy, but you can ask her if you're so curious. She realised her tone was sarcastic. I'm not feeling well. You'll have to give me a pass if I seem snide. We're aware of that, Decker said. Thank you for talking to us. Her answer was a dismissive wave. If I name a few possible math topics, could you give me a yes or no? No, I will not give you a yes or no, but feel free to ask. Something was brewing in Decker's head. He couldn't quite place it yet, but the idea would blossom eventually. He said, does it have to do with theory analysis? It seems to be a very popular subject around here. She appeared surprised. It is not and was never my field of interest. But it was Katrina Belford's field of interest. Alistair was working with me, not Katrina. Does it have to do with theory analysis? Decker repeated a simple yes or no. When she didn't answer, McAdam leaned over to Decker and showed him his notepad. Decker said, go ahead and ask her. McAdams asked, does it have to do with stochastic oscillator momentum and stop theory? She flushed with anger. So if you already talked to Alistair, why are you bothering me? We haven't talked to Alistair, Decker said. Yet, McAdams added. Sal's opened and closed her mouth. Don't tell me it was a lucky guess. She stood up, winced, and then sat down. What's going on? Decker said. Did you know that Dr. Belford had been employed by hedge funds? She was using her own variation of the stochastic oscillator index to predict daily market movement. The woman ran her tongue in her mouth several times. How did you find this out? Never mind about my sources. What do you know about Belford's moonlighting? This is the first I've heard about it. You wouldn't be lying to me, right? Why would I lie to you? Because employment outside of the department is usually frowned upon. If you knew about it, it could reflect poorly on you. I'm not lying. I do know about it, and I'm positive that Theo doesn't know about it. He would not approve. How did Alistair Dixon decide upon his topic? He started out on something different and switched to Fourier and stochastic oscillator theory about a year ago. And you approved the change of topic. I did. but with the reservation, it's only a 2-year program. That's not a lot of time to develop a thesis. He had a lot of catch up to do, but he assured me it wasn't a problem. Then when I read a draft of his thesis coming home on train from the conference, I was utterly shocked by how many holes he had in his logic. It wasn't as if he had to prove something ingenious, but there had to be some mathematical basis for what he was suggesting. What was Dixon's relationship to Dr. Belford? As far as I knew, there was no relationship. This is very bizarre. Who told you Katrina was moonlighting? Descartes sidestepped the question. If Thea Rosa found out about her extra job, how do you think he'd handle it? What do you mean? We're working on the assumption that Dr. Belfort was murdered. A pause, then Shao said, oh please, Thea didn't murder Katrina because she was moonlighting. Had he found out, he used it to fire her and ruin her chances of getting another job. He detested her. So we've heard, McAdams said. Any idea why he hated her other than misogyny? Thea has no love for women, but if you flatter him the right way, he's a pussycat. She could have had him eat. She didn't finish her, never mind. Decker smiled, eating out of the palm of her hands. The dean was quiet. McAdams thought a moment. Oh, okay, I get it. He had a thing for her and it wasn't reciprocated. No, you're wrong, Shah insisted. He hated her. Fine lines between love and hate and all that jazz. Sao didn't argue. I don't know, could be. He started off very enthused about her, but it quickly changed. Katrina could be a charmer, but she was also ambitious. Maybe Thea just didn't like the combination. How do you think he would have reacted if he'd known about the affair? Do you think Thea would have actually fired her? It's very difficult to fire a person for moral turpitude once there is a tenure. She didn't have tenure, but Aldo did. He would have had to go, well, he had to go as well, or else he'd risk opening himself up to sexual discrimination. Let's get back to where you were the night of Katrina's death, Decker said. You said that Farrago knocked on your door at about 1 in the morning, yes. Okay, when did Dixon come to your office? He must have been about half an hour before. About 12:30, Decker met us a little late for an academic meeting. When I got home, I emailed him my concerns. He asked if we might meet as soon as possible. Since I couldn't sleep and I was in my office anyway, I told him if he wanted to stop by, I talked to him. Students are up late, so yes, he came in around 12:30. How did he respond when you told him your concerns about the paper? He wasn't happy, of course. He said it was a work in progress. She paused. He got upset. I really reamed him out. I could have handled it better. When did you leave your office? I didn't look at the clock. I think we talked for around 45 minutes, so he probably left around 15 after 1. Do you know where he went after that? No idea. I would think he'd gone back to his dorm or the library, but you don't know. No, I don't know. Did you talk to him the following morning? I talked to him the following morning. It was in the afternoon, I believe. He was still very upset. I would have thought he'd be over it by now. Maybe he was upset for other reasons. Decker folded his notebook and handed her his card. If you should think of anything else, give me a call. I have a question, McAdam asked. Did Rosa ever appear jealous of Farrago? Nothing naked, but Theo is by nature a jealous man. How is his jealousy manifested? I might have spoken out of turn. It's just my opinion. Please, Decker said, tell us what you think. Theo isn't a team player. He isn't wild about the successes of his faculty, even though they reflect well on him as the head of the department. He especially doesn't like ambitious women. Katrina wasn't the first woman with whom he had a conflict. You mean Malin Eula? McAdams asked. No, I was referring to another female faculty member who left 4 years ago, but yes, I do believe he's a little rough on Malin. Have you ever talked to him about it? Decker asked. I've made some small talk about it. He just denies the problem. That's the style. Being pig-headed, Decker asked. That's a bit harsh. How would you put it? Theo is a remarkable man. He should have been full-time faculty at Harvard or Princeton or Berkeley, but he gets fixated on a person or an idea and he won't let go. Persistence is helpful in maths if you're on the right track, but sometimes you've got to stop working on an idea to death. No matter how brilliant you think it is, sometimes you've got to learn to switch gears. After they left the building, McAdams said, when you think of venal professions, mathematics doesn't jump right out at you, but I guess the pettiness of academia cuts across the board. People are people. Profound. You don't have to be profound to be right. McAdams chuckled, pulled up the collar on his navy cashmere coat and tied in his scarf. Want me to call Alastair Dixon? Yes, let's get something up in an hour if you can. I'm going to Bagelmania to try to confirm Lynn's alibi the morning after the murder. Want me to grab you anything? No, I'm fine right now. McAdams took out his phone and to look up Alastair Dixon's cell number. She still could have done it, you know. There's plenty of time between 2 and 6 to get an apartment. The apartment and push Katrina into a table, of course. But you don't suspect her. McAdams punching the numbers. I can tell that by now. Who you think is innocent and who you think has something to do with hide. She sounded truthful. She said she was in Bagel Mania at 6 in the morning. If she was lying about that, then I'll change my mind. Voicemail. Hold on. Give him my number as a callback. Don't trust me? I want to talk to him. Whatever. Decker paused until McAdams stowed his phone into his pocket. Then he said, Dean Zhao was right about switching gears. We're working on the assumption that Theodore hates Katrina, and then you mentioned that he had a thing for her. It potentially changes the entire complexion of the case. Good for you, Harvard. Thanks, he thought a moment. So you suspect Rosa. If he felt that Katrina had spurned him, who knows what was boiling inside him. Then we also have Dixon, who was doing his master thesis on the stochastic oscillator indicator, switching to the topic a year into the program. Where did that come from? Maybe he was also working for Katrina. Mellon and Damador never mentioned Dixon on the team, but maybe Katrina said what team's helping her out. Want me to call Mellon and ask her about it? Not yet. Decker paused. Something hit me when I was talking this out. It just came to me. She mentioned that Dixon's paper was sloppy. Maybe he needed better data. How do you like the idea that he broke into Mellon's room trying to find her data? Oh, I don't think you can turn Dixon into Mellon, no matter how professional the wig or the makeup job. He's a beefy guy, so he hired someone to break in. McAdams shrugged, and then he couldn't find what he needed in Mellon's room. He went to Belford's house. They argued, and he pushed her. Or he broke into Belford's house, hoping to find her data. Maybe she heard him, woke up, and that's when he pushed her. Decker's phone rang. It was Dixon. After introduction, Decker said, I'm trying to establish where people were on the night of Katrina Belford's death. Dr. Fraga said he knocked on Dr. Shao's doors at 1 in the morning, and you were there. Yes, Dr. Shao told me. Yes, I know that you didn't see him, but I need a statement. Could you come into the station house? No, not over the phone. I need a signature. It'll only take a few minutes. Decker looked at his watch. Around 4. Okay, see you there. Thank you. He hung up. How'd he sound? McAdams asked. Nervous, but all people sound nervous when dealing with the police. McAdams shook his watch. That's 2 hours from now. The boy can add. See what 4 years of college can do. Decker smiled. I can follow up on Dean Shao's alibi by myself. Go home and study. Okay. Decker held his chest. What did you say? Did you actually agree with me? Very funny. I should video rare moments like this. It's almost as rare as one of my kids agreeing with me. Don't play that benign detective crap on me. Decker, you don't book shit from no one. Which technically means you book shit from everyone. Anyway, you get the gist of what I'm saying. You're as shrewd as they come. You just master better than anyone else like my dad. Better than someone like my dad. Anyone couldn't master better than your dad. Now that is true. I still want to be there when you interview Dixon. He's my age. I think he'll be an asset. Definitely. Tyler smart. Why, thank you, boss. You're welcome. Decker threw his arm around the kid. We'll make a good team, Harvard. You give me youth and I give you gravitas. Thank you.